Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace, author of 10 young adult novels so far. Welcome to the week 4 NaNoWriMo vlog. This is going to be interesting. First of all, I don't know if this video is just going to be the 7 days, like my first 3 weeks were just 7 days, so like int on the 28th, or if I'll go all the way through the 30th. Whether or not I make the last 2 days a separate video will depend on how far behind I am. Because if I have to write like, 20,000 words in those last 2 days, it'll be its own video, do its own thing. But if I'm close enough that I could like finish in the morning and then edit and upload on Tuesday, which is my upload day, then I'll just probably just do it all in one video. I don't expect to be close because I'm like 8,000 words behind right now. It's not my fault. I was sick the entire week 3 and I got basically nothing done. But anyway, it's week 4. We're recovering from the sickness and we have time off because it's Thanksgiving break. So fingers crossed we catch up this week before the 30th, because I don't want to have a massive like catch up on the very last day thing, which I always do. I'm always writing like right up until midnight because I have 10,000 words to catch up on or something on the very last day. I don't want to do that this year, so I need to catch up this week during Thanksgiving break. It's going to be interesting. Who knows if I will make it. It'll be fine. My dragon initially fled into the forest because he was faced with the guy who had controlled his brain when he was young, and then also the other mage who had killed his sister, and so he was just overwhelmed. He was like, I can't take it, and he fled the war and was just like, peace out. I brought the dog out for like my usual, walk around the path in the trees adventure, and she's making my life difficult. But anyway, I feel like I haven't actually talked to the camera in week 4's vlog. I mean, I had my initial like, here we are, week 4. Yeah, and then I've done a few clips throughout this week, which I will now let you watch, but like, there's not a lot. I'm going to be writing scenes with my magical princess. She's made it to a sort of safe haven for magic people that's in the forest, and she's meeting lots of different characters and people there. She's actually run into like the Fae for the first time in her life. She didn't realize that that was a thing, so she's like, what are these people? What's going on? So I'm probably going to do that. Hi. I know. I just, I figured I should get on an early one today so that, I can focus on Thanksgiving for the rest of the day, so here I am. Well, Messiah is in the forest. Gosh, I haven't talked to the two of you in so long, I have no idea what you know about my story, but, yeah, anyway, my magical princess has gone off into the forest, and she's meeting lots of people there and trying to convince them to come back and help her in her war effort against these other mages. Which they don't really want to do because they live in this little like utopia society in the forest that they've created, and they
kind of ignore the world around them, and they're just like, we're a magical safe haven, but, you know, if you need refuge, come here, but like, don't make us fight wars. So anyway, she's talking to these people. So I'm just gonna pick a scene and introduce her to more of those people, I think.
I don't know, I'm following the dog. We're going this way, apparently. She likes to go under trees. Anyway, I'm not going under those trees. Where do you think you're going? Anyway, yeah, there's a few clips over the last few days of me desperately trying to catch up. And then yesterday at 6 a.m., we caught up. And now it's Friday, and I haven't written yet, but I will. I just wanted a clip with my face and like actually talking to the camera, because I haven't had one of those. Basically, I've spent this week starting to feel healthy again, and then desperately trying to catch up on the like 6,000 to 8,000 words behind that I was. And we've caught up, and life is good. Now I just have to stay on track until Tuesday? Is Tuesday the 30th? I don't know. We have a lot of Messiah scenes happening. Messiah's having fun, wandering through the forest, getting to know magical creatures. She made it. That was a spiderweb that went right to my eye. Anyway, I do intend to go back to book 1 and implement them there so that they don't just show up in book 3 and you're like, what is happening here? Yeah. I made a map to connect the two worlds. Actually, I made several maps, but anyway, it works, I think, for the dwarves to just be existing in Messiah's world, because the mountain range goes through both worlds, and that's where they live in Fire Story, so it works. And then I think I might... Ada, come on. Come this way. It's hard to walk with you not following me. Anyway, with the Fae that are in Fire Story and not as prevalent in Messiah's story, I think I might just, in book 1 and 2, insert various, like, fairy tales. You know, so it's like an idea, and then she'll run into them in book 3 and be like, oh, they're real. So I think that works. So that's basically what Messiah's doing. She's trying to convince all these random magical people to come help her in the war. And then we have the dragon, who was fighting in the war without Messiah, which was tragic because he's a little codependent on her. And then he ran off into the forest because, well, one of the fights went badly and he didn't appreciate it, and he ran off into the forest. And there he's met a few dragons who have lived a very different life than him, because most of the dragons, like my dragon, are enslaved by the Southern Kingdom. Their culture has essentially been erased. Their lives suck. But he's run into dragons who apparently escaped that life when they were quite young and grew up just freestyle in the forest. I call them my hippie dragons. Yeah, they just have a different life perspective than he does. And he's debating whether he should just live with them peacefully in the forest, or if he should convince them to come back and fight the war and like free the rest of the dragon people. And then poor Lance. Haven't been writing a lot of Lance because he's doing a lot of military stuff that I don't really have a strong grasp of yet. I need to do some research. And then we'll be able to write some Lance scenes. I did write a few this week, in fact. I dove back into Lance after taking a week off from Lance, and that was nice. But he just... It's hard to write a Lance scene when I don't have an understanding of the setting. Like, I don't know where he is or what his military movements are or things. So it's like, I can't write a scene if I don't know what's happening. So there's that. That's basically where we're at. Now we just have to stay on track and then win NaNoWriMo. I've actually been going back through my manuscript and going to all the Lance scenes that I skipped because I didn't know what to do with him. So I've been filling in all of the Lance scenes because my dragon POV and then Messiah's POV have both made it to like the bad guys closed in situation, and I had started skipping Lance scenes way back in setup, and I finally decided that enough was enough. So I've spent today going back and filling in the Lance scenes, which has actually been very interesting, and led to a lot of words that I was not expecting, because he's in the middle of a war, so there's a lot. I mean, the fight scenes just are fast-paced and take a lot of words, so that's been fun. Currently he's wounded, though, so that's where I left off before jumping on here, so that's where I'll be writing. Okay, we have 2 days left in NaNoWriMo, today and tomorrow. I'm hoping that I'll just finish today, and therefore I can edit and upload this vlog tonight rather than tomorrow, the day that it's supposed to be out. But we'll see. I don't have a million words to catch up on because I caught up on Thanksgiving. Yay. Then I did not really write over the weekend, which was unfortunate. But yesterday evening, I worked very, very hard because I realized I hadn't written barely anything on Friday, absolutely nothing on Saturday, and when I sat down to write yesterday, I'd written nothing. So I was kind of panicking, but I wrote 5,000 words yesterday evening, which was amazing, and now I just have like 2,500-ish words, and I am done with NaNoWriMo. Not done with the book, probably. It may be a bit longer than that, but we will see. Obviously, I'm going to keep writing it until I'm actually done, but this vlog will probably end with 50,000 words. Yesterday, those 5,000 words were me catching up on Lance, because for the first 3 weeks of NaNoWriMo, I was skipping most of Lance's scenes because it was military stuff, and I didn't know what to do with him, where to put him. I needed to know the setting of what he was doing, like where he was encamped, or where he was sending soldiers, or like what he was physically doing in order to write his emotional beats, which I knew the emotional side of things. But, yes, yesterday I was catching up on all the Lance things. But what I discovered yesterday was that he's probably, he's scarred, okay? We had a disaster. He's been wounded. It's a mess, which I didn't realize was gonna happen. So, that's unfortunate, but it's gonna be fine. It doesn't really affect the Messiah and the dragon scenes because they're off doing their own thing. The other thing I did discover was that I went through Messiah's stuff too quickly. So, yeah, the last scene I wrote with Messiah, she was done with the magical stuff. She'd convinced who she could convince. She was coming back to the war. However, that's supposed to be like the end of the book. So I needed to go back and add more interesting scenes in the magical village, either meeting people, learning about her magic, trying to convince people because the leader just does not want to help her at all. All the things. Also, there's an interesting knight there who went there years ago after her mom was murdered, and this old knight was in the royal guard with her great-grandmother, and like, she's old, she knows things. We could have some very interesting scenes between Messiah and this old knight. So that's good. The dragon, I believe everything pieced together smoothly, and he's just about ready to head home. So for Messiah and the dragon, I'm kind of in the break into 3 section. We did the like all is lost, dark night of the soul situation, except I think I did Messiah's too fast, which is why I'm going to go back and add scenes in her like bad guys close in section. But anyway, yeah, then I have the break into 3 and the finale, and the biggest problem, this is how I realized that I went through Messiah's too fast, was I was looking at the finale, which just feels really boring, I'm not gonna lie. Lance is fighting a war, so his finale involves going up against the big bad of his storyline, which is a different big bad than Messiah and the dragon. Anyway, so he's gonna go up against, you know, this person. There's gonna be some fighting. It's gonna look like he's gonna lose, and then he's gonna win, and then it's gonna be great. Messiah's story doesn't really have much of a finale other than, like, convincing the magical people to come with her and then returning home. Like, that's the moment. I don't know how to make that super interesting. I'm sure I can make it interesting because there has been a lot of pushback in the magical village. I don't know. I need to make it more interesting because I wrote a scene of, like, we're done, we're going home, and then I realized that was her finale, and I was like, nope, that was far too easy and really lame. So I gotta fix that. And then when it comes to the dragon's finale, I don't know what to do. So I have two options here. So the dragon's whole story arc so far has been, he started out codependent on Messiah and also terrified because ever since he was a very young hatchling, his mind has been enslaved by a particular mage, and most dragons do end up enslaved by the mages of this other kingdom that we don't like so much. Their whole culture has essentially been erased and they're all enslaved, and it's a mess. So he's still terrified, petrified in fact, but he's going back. The problem is, the big face-off with the mage who enslaved him is also Messiah's big face-off, because that's been her villain for 3 books now, and I want that to happen in the finale of book 4. Like, we defeat the big bad in the final book of the series. So I don't know, I don't want to have the dragon face off with this mage and win, because that takes away from book 4. I don't want to have him face off with this mage and lose, because that was literally the finale of book 2, and I don't want it to be exactly the same. Even if it has, like, slight differences, it's too similar is too similar. Case in point, Stolen Kingdom series, I absolutely adore. However, book 1 and book 2 have the exact same finale. Exactly the same. It's annoying. And I don't want to do that. So I might have him face off with the lesser mage who killed his sister, because that still ties into his story. I don't know. We'll see what happens. No, so the things I want to write today. Messiah and the Old Knight and other various things in the magical village to build up to her convincing them, so that there's more there, and also so that her finale is not lackluster and boring. And then I need to write the dragon's finale, and then I need to keep filling in Lance's scenes that I skipped over, and then, you know, write his finale. I don't think I'll get to all of that today, but, like, ladies and gentlemen, we won NaNoWriMo for the 4th time since I started doing NaNoWriMo. We did it! We're actually about 400 words over 50k today. Obviously I have tomorrow to write too. Let's see how far we can get. Plus, yeah, I'm not done with the story. Still have the finale to do for all 3 of my characters, plus still catching up on a few of Lance's scenes.